That's fine. That is the face of evil, sir. Look at that. That is incompetence incarnate. Look, that's all leader. England was the greatest country in the world. I watched. It brought tears to my eyes. I watched the Battle of Cairo. I watched Nelson fight the French fleet. A YouTube video at the Battle of Cairo. I even tweeted it in full. The heroism showed by the Brits only 200 years ago. These were the best men on the planet. Thailand, tiny island with the largest empire in history. I was in America till I was 8, but I spent my teenage years in the UK. I feel very British. The British were the hardest, strongest, most resilient people on the planet. When the British were coming, only the Americans seemed to have beat them. You were scared when the British were coming. We sailed all around the world. Opioid wars in China, Battle of Cairo, Waterloo, you name it. We beat Napoleon. We did. The Brits. And now look, soy face is locking us up for having an opinion. And we're sitting there on our asses, afraid to say anything. This exact clip will be played in front of a judge when they lock me up. But it has to be said, because that is not the leader of the United Kingdom. That is not the leader the United Kingdom deserves. We need, UK is an even more dire scenario than the United States. We need Trump or someone Trump-esque. And Nigel Farage isn't up to the task. He's not strong enough. It's me or I don't know who else. But UK is in a mess. We need someone of Trump's level to fix it. Because this guy, Keir, is doing nothing but run it into the ground. And it really, truly breaks my heart because the UK was the greatest country on earth. And that's why I want to become the prime minister, to restore it to its former glory. Britain and the history of Britain and the amazing things it's achieved. The fact that London is a country where you can't even wear a watch anymore is not just disgraceful. It's absolutely disgusting. People should face treason charges for what they've done.
Okay, so
treason.
Let me ask you this. First podcast we did, you were a Christian.
Yep.
Second podcast we did, you were a Muslim.
Yep.
Today, are you still a Muslim?
Yes.
You are. Okay. So you talk about UK,
Yep.
right? I lived in Germany at a refugee camp. And I saw who, first time I ever got stabbed in my life was by another Afghani kid. It was in Erlangen at a refugee camp. We had a fight. Boom. He took it out. Well, I'm like,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 11 years old when this happened to me. So you look at stats, because I'm a data guy. I think you're also a data guy.
100%.
And I watched you go through it to see how you were going to maneuver around this. I was watching you very closely. I think you and I even exchanged a couple messages one time.
Yeah.